here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not, literally, it does not work without you guys. So I'm trying to see, doing a little live stream here, and probably stepping into some crap. We're testing out our system here. We're actually outside with the fire going in the fire pit, and I'm trying. Hey, how you doing, Brandon? What's up, Dominique Jr.? Just let me know. How's the sound? Does the sound loud enough, or does it need to be up more? How you doing, Chris Miller, Baldo Salazar, Brandon Rogers, Donnie Jr., Big Pain? What's up, Eagles Nation? Ethan, what's up? Puro Party, Sean Henry, Renee Ramirez, Angel, Dem Boys, Travis Banks. How's everybody doing? Can you guys, I'm sorry to say this, but you don't believe in Dak. Well, okay, that's cool. Nobody's going to believe in everything. Let me ask you this. Is the sound okay? I'm actually trying a different microphone. I'm actually using a wireless headset. So the microphone's right here at my throat, and seeing how it is. We're trying to do some different things. We are actually doing this stream by firelight that's right here, and just trying to get a feel for this new system. Junior Muth, how are you doing? Actually, I can put this over here. This is actually the controls for the Mevo, so I can actually move the camera around a bit here, and you guys can kind of get. I believe in Dak for sure. Okay, so here's my thing. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start some stuff here, because that's what we do here on the Joe Boo Sports Report. I get tired of constantly hearing everybody just talking about how Dak Prescott is trash. So I'm going to flat out, and this is not meant to be trash talking. This is not meant to be, jokes and things like that. I want a real discussion on this, because we keep getting told that, with Dak Prescott, you're not going to win a Super Bowl, or you got to have guys around him and things in order to win, and he's not the guy that's going to get it. We always hear the opposite thing when it comes to Carson Wentz. Again, let me turn the sound on here myself. Let me see if I can hear myself, because you guys aren't telling me. Is it loud enough for you guys, or does it need to be up louder? Okay, so I don't need to have the headset on anymore. Okay, so my question is, real question, and again, this is not meant to be trash talking. We got enough haters out there that are going to say, Dak sucks or anything else. So my question is if instead of having Dak Prescott, you can get rid of him and even swap, you get Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz and his contract. Everything that Carson Wentz is and isn't. Are you happy with that move? That is a real question. And it's not, okay, yeah, seriously. It's a real question, because the way it's portrayed by the talking heads out there, oh my God, Carson Wentz, he's got the intangibles. He's the, the Ferrari. And at some point, you're going to end up needing it, as opposed to Dak Prescott being the expedition, I think it was, whatever it was. But that's the perspective that is put out there in the narrative, that you can't win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott, but Carson Wentz, you're good. So if you have the opportunity, if Carson Wentz is truly that much better, and I'll ask you Eagle fans, if it's an even swap, you want Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott? And this does not have to be about party lines between being Eagle fan or Dak Prescott fan or a Cowboy fan or a Carson Wentz fan. All things being equal, would you want Dak Prescott versus Carson Wentz? Okay, Wentz is not that good. Pagan Texas Eagles. Okay, let's see some more of these. Southball God 22, thank you very much for the super chat. All these free agents. Well, okay. And here's my question then. Okay, if you're going to answer the question one way or the other, what are the things that you look at and say, this is the reason why I'd rather have this guy versus the other guy. Dak is not bad. He's just not great either. Actually, let me do this. Let's switch sides just a little bit here. So that way, keep everything focused this way. See, what I have is, welcome, brother. How you doing? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that. You know what? And here's, Alan Terry. Welcome to the Joe Boo Mojo crew. I tell you what, Alan Terry, do me a favor. I can't put it out here with this system, but cowboysmark94 at Gmail, okay? At Gmail. Cowboysmark94, like Charles Haley or Mark Holmes, at gmail.com. Email me your address so that way I can get you one of these shot glasses out to you for being a member, because it's the reason is because guys like you, people coming in, liking, commenting, subscribing, are enabling us to be able to get some more and more better equipment and things and do more stuff. So I appreciate you becoming a member, and I appreciate the super chats. In fact, everybody who's done super chats, I'll try and do it tomorrow. We'll do it on the Friday. This week has been busy. I got so much work to do tomorrow. Oh my God, I got so much work to do tomorrow. And then Tuesday, I've got to actually. You never received. Robert, did you send me an email with your address? Because I don't remember seeing Robert Vela. So send me your address, and I'll make sure another one goes out, because I don't remember seeing that one. Because just because you become a member, I don't get the addresses. I just see, okay, such and such became a member. So you have to email me to get the so I get the address. I will take Wentz. He doesn't make Dak that doesn't make Dak trash, but Wentz has more upside and arm talent. If you prefer Dak because of health, I understand. See, you know what? Big Pain, shout out to you, because that's a real discussion, and I can see your point of view. Health, definitely. If you've got to put health in there if you're an Eagles fan, or actually if you're a GM that's building a team, because as they always say, your best ability is your availability. And he had that 13-game stretch where he was playing lights out. I'm gonna give the man credit. He was really, really good. His rookie year, when he didn't have a great team around him, not so much. After coming back from injury, his third year, 5-6. He had that game against New Orleans, and what was it? Something 48, 348, something like that. 3 interceptions, fumbles, a lot of sacks. And I know New Orleans was swarming on him, but that was one of those games that people talk about with Dak Prescott. I agree with you. Both of the guys are really good quarterbacks, and I think we're going to see them. I would take Daniel Jones. Why would you take Daniel Jones over Dak or Wentz? If you're going to say that, back it up with the reasons why you would take him, because what you've seen thus far, I can say Carson Wentz actually for 13 games played at MVP level. I can say that. I can say he got injured, and I can say that against him. But I have not seen anything from Daniel Jones that says, yeah, he's going to be better than Dak and Carson Wentz. Nothing. Dak and Carson both played, head and shoulders better than what that guy did his rookie year. Okay. Jones sucks. Daniel Jones can't throw to his left. Danny Dimes has to borrow money to get that dimes, okay? Go get Mahomes. Well, Mahomes doesn't come. Guys like Mahomes don't come along too often. Well, that's what I would say. That it was funny last year, because they would say that Carson Wentz has the higher ceiling. Dak Prescott, he is what he is. But I know the Cowboys didn't win enough games, but you got to look at anybody who throws for almost 5,000 yards. There's not that many quarterbacks, and I don't care what teams they were on, that threw for that kind of yardage. 30 touchdowns? There's not a lot of quarterbacks that have thrown 30 touchdowns in comparison to how many are out there. with only 11 interceptions. I know Jameis Winston threw 30 touchdowns, but he had 30 interceptions and 7 pick sixes. And they're talking about paying that guy $27 million to stay in Tampa. Wait a minute. Who would I take a shot? Wait, I'm sorry. I missed that one. Daniel Jones equals Rick Meyer. Dak wants his money, but he better play. Everybody wants their money. Jimmy, did you send me your address? Because I don't remember seeing your address either. So if you did not email me with your address, no, I did not get it to you, because that's the only way I can get it to you. So email me at cowboysmark94@gmail. Dak will have a longer career than both. Book it. NFC East was terrible. Wentz and Dak contributed to garbage. Well, you could say that too. You can definitely say that. What's up, Cowboys family? I got busy today. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Damn. I'm out of gas. Hold up, guys. I gotta change the tank. Let me get a shot. I gotta go get some more gas. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Here. Get your thoughts together about why you want Dak or you want Carson Wentz. Real discussion here. Are you guys still there? I'm actually changing the tank. Actually, I forgot. I can still talk to you guys, can't you? You guys can hear me. I just can't see me. The fire pit is actually gas, and the tanks are actually under the deck. And so you got an extra one upstairs. So, I am back, baby. You guys still there? You're still there? Oh, we got more people than when I left. Okay, cool. Let me get a match. I need a match. Sure, it'd be nice if I had a crew that would take care of all this stuff. You know? Bet you people on ESPN don't have to work the set like I do. Okay, I'm back, baby. There we go. And just like that, we have a fire. Okay. So where was I? Wentz beat us single-handedly. One game. I get it. We lost to Carson Wentz. And apparently we have a very, very short memory. Do you guys remember last year after our team started out like shit? We got Amari Cooper and we started lighting the place up when we had a receiver. And we went up to Philadelphia and we beat Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions. By the way, Carson Wentz last year was 5-6. Of those 6 losses, you guys do realize that 2 of them came by way of the Dallas Cowboys. You do realize that, right? Do you remember Dak Prescott, I think, having 3 or 4 touchdown passes in that Eagles game and winning in overtime? I remember because I was there. I was there. You guys don't seem to remember the game we played early in the season and Carson Wentz played like garbage. I think he had 3 fumbles in that game. I think he's had 19 on the season. Those games don't count. The only one that counts is that last game. And everybody's mad because, in a way, I guess it's a good thing that we've actually elevated the bar. We've elevated the bar because 2010, 8-8. 2011, with a win and get in game. Let me say it again. In 2010, we had a win and get in game against the Giants, and we lost that one. The next year, 8-8, with a win and get in game against the Eagles, and we lost that game. 2013, with a win and get in game against the Redskins, we lost that game. 2014, great season, playoffs, 12-4, lose to the Green Bay Packers in the catch no catch. 2015, 4-12. So through the course of 5 years, we had Tony Romo, great quarterback, holds the Cowboys record, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 12-4, and 4-12, because he was injured. We had 1 year of playoffs. Now we've gotten spoiled because we had 13-3, down year with 9-7 being a down year. Still got close to the playoffs. 10-6 and 8-8. Playoffs every other year. And now, that's not good enough. Because here's the funny thing. Since the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl, last, that 25 years, you know Dak Prescott's only been responsible for 4 of it, right? The dysfunction and the sorry-ass coaches, the lame-ass draft picks and free agent signings, all that shit happened under Jerry Jones' watch. Dak Prescott's not responsible for, the Chan Galeys and the Jason. He's not responsible for any of that stuff. He's not responsible for meltdowns against the Green Bay Packers when you're up 26-3 at half. He's not responsible for, losing 51-49 to Denver. He's not responsible for, blowing 21-point leads against the Lions. He's not responsible for icing your own kicker. He's not responsible for Tony Romo breaking down. He's responsible for those 4 years. And you honestly have to look at this last 4 years in comparison to the last 25. That you actually have to look at this and say, this may be some of the better football consistently that we've actually had in the last 25 years. I guess in a way that the fact that 8-8 is not anywhere acceptable, because we had 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and Tony Romo got paid. 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and Tony Romo got paid. So maybe the bar is raising up, and maybe that's a good thing. Cry, 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 Cowboys and Cowboys fans. Okay. Justin Quarles, okay, since both came in the league, what franchise has had more success? Well, I ask you, Eagle fans, let me ask you this then. If you didn't have Nick Foles, do you win the Super Bowl? Are you sitting here pounding your chest about Carson Wentz if you didn't have Nick Foles go through that run? You would have made the playoffs that year. I'll give you that much. Because you're 10 victories with Carson Wentz. But do you make the playoffs last year without Nick Foles? With a 5-6 quarterback? Nick Foles won you 3 games. Nick Foles won more than half as many as Carson Wentz. Victor, I'm glad you got yours, man. Big Pain agrees. No. Nope. Foles is the man. So, I mean, I'm not. Tonight's not about trash talking or hate. It's not. I'm just trying to get a realistic. This is meant to be a real discussion, but not Wentz. We were blowing everybody out. You were in 2013. I mean, 2017. Yeah, you were. Now, you did have a fourth place schedule, too. It's gotten tougher for both of our teams because now we're playing, a few more teams that are better than what we had. Now, we'll see next year because you have the first place schedule and you have an aging roster and you don't have a lot of money to play with, too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with your team. So, Cowboys Gamer, what is it that your eye test tells you? What is it that you see that aren't there in the stats and all the wins? So that's what I want to know. Because I tell you what my eyeball sees, and I've got to actually edit it. But I see a guy who loses the ball too much. I see too many turnovers there. Now, I'll get it. He can launch the ball. But for my eye test, seeing him on the ground, I see that a whole lot. I see him, that hit didn't seem quite that bad. I've seen the guys get hit a lot worse and fight to get back out there, but I didn't see that there. I didn't see that. I know they say that it's great for Carson Wentz to go ahead and be out and not go out there and risk a concussion. I understand that. But if my quarterback did that, you know how much they would talk about him being a big P? Oh, my God. They would be saying, you know what? He's a big-ass crybaby. Wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Make Tua a place kicker. That's to beat our Cowboys with. Cowboys Gamer. That happens all the time. You always have a team that comes through and beats somebody that they shouldn't. I'll give you another. Okay, you know what? I'll give you this one. The Detroit Lions went into Philadelphia and beat them. How about that? The Detroit Lions went into Philadelphia and beat them. They got their ass kicked by Atlanta when Atlanta had one win, I think. Some games you have it, some games you don't. And I'm going to tell you, here's what's actually amazing to me, because I want to actually do this, and I wish I had more time to sit down and just do film breakdown. But I want you to look at the way the game was called against the Rams. First down, we lined up like we normally do with Zeke Elliott looking like he's getting ready to do a dive. And then all of a sudden, we shift out of it into a 4 wide out set. Now, we throw an incomplete pass. But all of a sudden, the Rams defense is like, wait. We got 8 men in the box to stop Zeke. What is this 4 wide outs? The next play ends up being a pass play. I think it was out to Jason Witten. Then the next play goes down the field to Amari Cooper. Then the next one went to Michael Gallup. It ended up being an incompletion, and that drive stalled about the 50-yard line. But I think in that drive, they only had one run with Zeke Elliott. The next drive, they ended up getting the ball on the 10-yard line. And again, they came out play action and passing the football. And they marched right down the field on a Rams team that was coming in on a 3-game winning streak that had a lot to play for playoffs. The next drive, they get the ball on the 3-yard line and go 97 yards. They literally destroyed the Rams. Now, in that game, I think we did play action, I want to say 31% of the time. Okay? 31% of the time, we faked to Zeke Elliott and we did something else. And we destroyed them. The next week, with our quarterback, whose arm should have been in a sling, we do play action pass. You know how much? 7% of the time. That's it. 7% of the time. And you had a quarterback who couldn't practice during the week. Instead of trying to do play action, instead of rolling him out and trying to make easy throws, we were launching the ball down the field. I'm like, why are you trying to let it rip when the quarterback was injured with an injured shoulder? Now, you can say I'm making excuses, but go back and look at those two games and see how differently they were called. That game against the Eagles was played to, and of course we kept running Zeke Elliott, first down, like 70% of the time it was Zeke Elliott, and Zeke Elliott was getting stopped. So now it was 2nd and long. These things make a difference in how you call a game. If your quarterback can't throw the ball because he couldn't lift up his arm all week, then why are you trying to throw 40 and 50 yards downfield? Why aren't you using things to try and get you to use your advantage? I'm just pointing that out. I know you guys don't want to believe that, but that's the truth. And when you look, and here's the thing, people kill me because, oh, you just need the eye test, you're making things up. But no, here's the thing. Every time we did play action more than 28% of the time, we won last year, with the exception of one game. The only one that we ran play action, I think we ran at 28%, was against the Vikings. And you cannot put that game on Dak Prescott's back, that we lost because of Dak. Because Zeke Elliott had all of about 50 yards in that game. Dak had 398, 400 yards, somewhere around there, 3 touchdown passes. And the coach, knowing your quarterback had a hot hand, goes back to running Zeke up the middle on 1st and 2nd down. And I think that may have been the game that Zeke, was that the one Tony Pollard was out? This is the one that sat in my mind about Zeke, because I remember Zeke had a great run, and then he was like, I need a blow. There ain't nobody behind you. Tony Pollard's injured. So then we have Oluwalu come in as a running back, and Oluwalu runs the wrong pass pattern, and it's incomplete. So, play action, something that worked for us all season. Stream resumed. What happened to my stream? Okay. Here's what's funny. We actually did win a playoff game. We actually beat Russell Wilson, who was deemed a much better quarterback than Dak Prescott, isn't he? Am I wrong on that one? Didn't we beat Seattle in the playoffs? Russell Wilson? Because if I remember correctly, the playoff game that Tony Romo won was against the Lions, wasn't it? And when was the last time the Lions won a playoff game? I don't think I had gray hair at that point. So, it happens. And you're taking, you got to look at the team getting better. And you got to look at the team with Jason Garrett as a head freaking coach. Zeke wasn't Zeke all year. I have to agree with you on that one. Eagle King, Dak's getting cut 40 years. Well, okay, let's back up on this, though. Okay, so they're thinking to lure Tom Brady from New England that it's going to need to be a 3-year, $100 million contract. That's $33 million a year for a guy who will be the oldest starting quarterback ever come next year. That's 33. Jameis Winston, they're talking about a $27 million deal for the guy who had 30 interceptions, including 7 pick sixes. Teddy Bridgewater, they're talking about 30. And how much time did he miss with that catastrophic knee injury? Drew Brees definitely is going to get at least 30 with his new deal. Big Ben got 34, and he didn't play but, one game last year? Half a game? Pat Mahomes probably get 40. Deshaun Watson is waiting till Pat Mahomes gets his deal to see how much he gets, and so it can elevate his. So if Pat Mahomes gets 40, Deshaun Watson is going to ask for 37. So the only person we're talking about right now under 30 is Jameis Winston. Now, we keep hearing everybody saying, that, Dak Prescott wanted 40. No, he didn't actually ask for 40. He's actually looking at a contract that was very similar to Wentz and Goff's, but the difference is about $17 million in guaranteed money that he wasn't going to get. In essence, what it was if you take franchise tag for this year and next year, that's about $70 million, which I would love to have. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have that. But they were looking at making a 4-year deal, and it was only $90 million guaranteed. So, in essence, that's not as good as what it would have been if you franchise tagged 2 years and then got free agency, as opposed to the 107 and 115 Wentz the golf guy. That's where we're looking at, or that's the difference. That's right, Justin. It's the guaranteed money, because you'll hear a $200 million contract, but the player's never going to get that $200 million. That's just that just sounds good on paper. So, if Jacoby Brissett earned 27 last year, if Jameis Winston's going to get 27, how are you going to say 20 to 25? How are you going to actually say that he's worth less than Jameis Winston? How can you even have that come out your mouth? Come on, man. Let's not be stupid. Let's have a real discussion. We just talked about a 43-year-old guy who's going to get about 33 a year. We just talked about Jameis Winston getting 27. We just talked about Drew Brees getting well over 30 as well. We talked about Deshaun Watson getting 37. We talked about Pat Mahomes getting over 40. Come on, man. Let's be real here. Well, they would want to get this stuff done because I think Dak would actually hold out now. Because last year is the story. Really? If that's the case, then how is it that Carson Wentz got paid then last year? Because, you know what? Let me go through. Hold on. See, this is where you're stupid. Because let me pull this up. Because Carson, no, I just want to be fair now, okay? Because I just want to be fair. right, so this was the year before. So this is what the performance that Carson Wentz had for the year before he got paid, okay? So the first 2 games he couldn't play in because he was coming back from the injury. So they beat Indianapolis, who had not, Indianapolis sucked last year, the first half of the year. He was 37 passes. He was 25 out of 37. They got the win, 20-16. He had 255 yards, 1 TD, 1 interceptions, 84.9. Tennessee, they lost to 26-23, 33 out of 50, 348, 2 TDs, 99 rating. That was a pretty good game in that loss. They then lost the next week to Minnesota, okay? He was 24 out of 35, 311, 2 touchdowns, 115. Now, they beat the Giants. They blew them out, 34-13, 26 out of 36, 278, 3 TDs. Carolina, 210 yards, 2 TDs, lose 21-17. Jacksonville, they beat Jacksonville 24-18, 286 yards, 3 TDs, 1 touchdown. Oh, by the way, I missed. He had 5 fumbles also between those games. Dallas lost 27-20. 32 out of 44, 360, 2 TDs, 1 interception, no fumbles. Lost to New Orleans. So you guys couldn't score any points against New Orleans. Well, he lost 48-7 and threw 3 interceptions and had a 31 rating. Damn. Beat the New York Giants 25-22. 20 out of 28, 1 TD. Beat the Redskins, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 306 yards. Lost to Dallas, 228 yards, a fumble, 3 touchdowns. And that was the season. 5-6. 5-6. And let me pull that up. So they made the playoffs because Nick Foles ended up carrying the team the last 3 games. So 5-6, you're saying that was a great season? Is that what we're saying? But we're saying that 8-8 season with Dak Prescott, where he threw for almost 5,000 yards, that's not good enough. Let me pull that up and pull up his whole season stats. That was his game logs. So in 2018, he played in 11 games, 5-6, 3,074 yards, 21 TDs, 7 interceptions. And let me see how many fumbles. 9 fumbles. That was actually pretty good for him. He only had 9 fumbles last year, or the year before. So, if you're saying that you can't pay Dak because of this season that we just had, what was that season Carson Wentz had? Are you honestly going to tell me that was a great season? I'm obsessed? Well, I am whatever I am. And if I'm obsessed, that's on me. You don't have to be here. How about that? Because this is my house. I'll talk about what I want. If I want to talk about Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, that's what I want to talk about. How about that? What would I pay Dak? I think 34, 35 is a good number. Because I know this, even if it's 37, 2 years from now, we're going to look at that like Kirk Cousins' contract is right now. We wish we could get Kirk Cousins' contract. 2 years ago, everybody was losing their mind with Kirk Cousins. Oh my God, how you going to pay a quarterback $28 million? How you going to do that? Simple. The cap keeps going up. We're sitting here arguing about this number. And here's the thing. Is it only the Dallas Cowboys that get hurt by a quarterback getting paid? Hypothetically, let's count how many quarterbacks will be in the 30 million range. We know Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes are going to get in the 30s. We know that. We know that those guys are going to. We already know Russell Wilson's there. We know Big Ben is there. We know Golf is there. We know Wentz is there. We know Matty Ice is there, right? It looks like Tom Brady's going to be there, right? Drew Brees will be back in there. Dak Prescott will be in there. That's 10 guys. 10 guys that'll be there. Did I miss anybody? Aaron Rodgers. That's 11. Forgot Aaron Rodgers. That's 11 guys. That's a third of the league. When everybody is in that range, it doesn't hurt you any more than it hurts the next guy. It's not like, Dak Prescott's getting $15 million more than everybody else. And the fact that the Cowboys, here's the irony of this whole thing. The Cowboys have $77 million. Kansas City has 13. When you talk about needing to take a team discount, you got to look at Kansas City and say, you're Super Bowl champions. You got a lot of guys out there, 27 free agents. You need to start taking care of those guys. So you could say, Pat, you got them State Farm commercials. You're now the face of the NFL. You got that Madden money. You got that Super Bowl ring. How about we do something different than, say, Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees? How about we get a couple of those things so that way you can set yourself apart? And to do that, we need to keep the team together. We need to get a few more bodies in here. We need you to take a team-friendly deal. How about that? Does that make any sense to anybody out there? Because we keep talking about, Dak can make endorsements. Hell no. You're right, Tara knows football. And you better not mess with her, because I tell you what, she will bitch slap your ass. Thoughts on Jared Goff? Psh, man. Right now, they're looking at his contract and saying that may be the worst contract and that they're screwed. The Rams got big problems. The Rams, because, the Rams have no money. Here's the problem. The Rams have no money. Todd Gurley is a shell of himself. They're probably going to ask him for some money back. And when he doesn't, they're going to have to cut him and leave a lot of dead money on the table. But they're going to have to do that just to get some breathing room. They traded for Jalen Ramsey. Okay? And Jalen Ramsey needs to get paid too. Jared Goff, he is not the same without a running game. And Sean McVay's offense seems to have been found out. He's no longer the wonder kid anymore. And they don't have a first-round draft pick the next couple of years. You're going to see the Rams go downhill real quick, I think. I hate to say that, but I think they're going to go downhill real quick. 6 years, $214 million. Amen, Derek. Amen, Derek. Why you all so worried about it? That's not coming out your pocket. You're right. 33 or below. Should we trade Zeke? You're not going to be able to trade Zeke in that contract. The money is for those great players, period. Dak and Wentz are not great. Well, here's the thing, man. Man, guess what? Golf got that. Wentz got that. And others are going to get that. You know, 2 years from now, we're going to be talking about $48 million. Nobody deserves $48 million contract for a quarterback. Watch. Great one. Hello, Cowboys Nation. How you doing? Tara B, I agree with you. I talked about Snacks Harrison the night he was cut. Even though he was nicked up a lot last year, he only missed one game. Still had 58 tackles, I believe it was, and 2.5 sacks. The guy can plug the middle of the field, and that would be a way to help us be able to take the best player available on defense if we can fill that hole. Thank you, Angel. Contracts do go up every year. Probably 52 years from now. Love the show. Appreciate that, Joel. We're actually, listen, here's what we're doing. Shout out to all of you great channel members, anybody who's bought the shot glass racks and things. All those things have gone to help support the channel. If you've been around the Jobu Sports Report, you've seen us evolve quite a bit. You've seen us build multiple studio sets and things. You've seen me go from 1 locker to 3 lockers. You've seen me come through and use multiple cameras on my main live stream and things, and being able to put the clips of, Carson Wentz fumbling and throwing interceptions and sit your ass down from Charles Haley. And all that stuff is because of you great guys. Now, I'm doing some work for my wife. Demario Davis, a guy that I said I wish the Cowboys would sign him. Guy is an absolute beast on the field. He has an incredible story. In fact, just came out with a book, and he's working with United Way in an externship. He's going to be actually in town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I've got to do some some videography of him, as well as 5 other players that are coming in. So that's where I've been spending the day kind of going through and checking out the sites and figuring out where we're going to do everything and how we're going to do this stuff. And I really have this bug of wanting to be able to really produce good or great quality stuff. I truly want to be like ESPN, but better. I want to be able to go on a site and be able to set up my cameras, be able to live stream, and do great work and stuff like that. I've gotten the bug, and I'm working on getting the right stuff to be able to do this stuff. When I go to the Super Bowl and I see all these people and the production and all this equipment, I'm just literally in awe of what they have. They put this stuff on. Suffering Dallas Cowboy fan, what free agents on our team will leave? Oh man, I think the Dallas Cowboys, I almost feel like the Cowboys are going to let Byron Jones and Amari Cooper both go. I think the Cowboys are looking at free agency differently. I think they're looking at this like New England, where New England doesn't sign the big name guys. I hate to say this, but it might have been better for us to have let DeMarcus Lawrence walk last year from the money standpoint, but bit the bullet. But right now we would have $42 million more in the cap. $42 million more on the cap. And see, you can do a lot with $42 million. Blow up the team? No, I'm not ready. No, you don't blow up the team. You don't blow up the team at this point, because you got to understand, you got Zeke Elliott that you got to pay for another 3 years. And after 3 years, he's not going to be the same guy. You got a short life with him. Tyron Smith is still one of the best tackles in football, but you still see the end coming up. Zach Martin, he's still great and probably will be for another 5 or 6 years. Travis Frederick, another 4 or 5 years, you're good on that one. Lyle Collins, you got time there. Your quarterback, you got plenty of time with him. So you don't necessarily blow it up, especially when your offense at least did as much as they did. What you have to look at this right now is say, I need to do something before my running back and my tackle get old. That the time is now, that the heck with the future. Right now, it's let's try and win the Super Bowl. In my mind, I say you franchise tag Amari Cooper, you get Dak Prescott's deal done, and maybe you let Byron Jones walk or use a transition tackle. But then you go out there and say, okay, I can restructure Zach Martin's deal. I can let go Tyrone Crawford. I can let go of tackle Cam Fleming. Between Cam Fleming and Tyrone Crawford, that's $13 million right there. And you say, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get me 2 defensive tackles. I'm going to go to the 3-4. I'm going to draft me a great cornerback and a great safety. And I'm going to go ahead and try and make a run. To me, that's what you try and do. You try and take this time and this opportunity to say, my division, we know the Giants got a long ways to go. The Redskins, they got a long ways to go. The Eagles ain't nothing special. And you go out for it. And understand, we are fighting history of our division. For the last 16 years, nobody has repeated winning the division. And understand, we've had 3 Super Bowl winning teams in that period. 3. The Giants twice didn't come back and win the division. And the Eagles didn't come back and win the division. We won it the year before. Didn't win the year before that, but we won it the year before that. That's the way this thing goes. Sorry, Mark. New coach, new beginning. Well, and that's where you look at this too. And here's the other thing you look at. New coach. That means everybody out there is now trying to figure out, what are the Cowboys going to do? Are they going to be ground and pound with Zeke Elliott? Or are they going to be trying to light it up with Dak Prescott? You have the unknown that's going to give you an advantage at least the first couple of weeks till people start figuring out what you're doing. And that's more the reason to say, let's get the bodies to do everything right now. Let's go all in. Now, think about the Rams. Now, maybe they went a little too hard, but they went through and they traded everything. I mean, they were literally, we're going for it now. We're going right now. They came close. They just failed in the Super Bowl. You look at the Eagles. The Eagles kind of went all in, too. They're making trades, bringing in the running back from Miami. They went through. They got a lot of free agent parts and stuff. They put this thing together, and they went on that run, and they won a Super Bowl with it. Now they're kind of dealing with the cap ramifications, as well as having a lot of aging players that they need to replace. But right now, you've got such a young team. You get a couple of, dogs on that defensive line, that can change that whole defense. You get a couple of dogs that can keep Jalen Smith clean and Van Der Esch. You get a safety that can get the ball, get a couple of takeaways. You get a corner that can do the same thing. All of a sudden, that defense goes from night and day difference. And instead of it being, we got to keep the defense off the field, you got to say, I want that defense out on the field to get me the ball. That's the difference. So, that's all I got to say about that. So, you like the hoodie? Well, you have to thank Miss Jackie, because Miss Jackie got that for me as a Christmas gift. Angel, I wouldn't mind being a fat guy in the middle. I got the fat part, and I can go in the middle. I don't know if I can stop anybody, but I'll be more than happy to be the fat guy in the middle. But anyway, I've been out here for quite a bit, and it appears, let me ask you, do you guys like this setup for the live stream? Being outside here, the look, the sound. Oh, man, did I miss a super chat? I'm sorry. Damn. Let me give a shout out to Patrick Robinson. Thank you very much for the super chat. Suffering Dallas Cowboy fan. Alan Terry for being a new member. Make sure you email me at cowboysmark94. And Softball God 22. Thank you very much for the super chat. And again, if you became a channel member, email, and if you haven't gotten your shot glass because you didn't email me or I missed it, email me cowboysmark94@gmail.com so that way I can get it out to you, okay? And so everybody who did a super chat, I'll get the list together as soon as I have a second, and we'll end up doing a drawing for the bronze 100 anniversary football guy. Could draft a wide receiver with our first. could draft a wide receiver with our first round draft pick. Really? The one thing at least I can say is at least with D-Laws, the one way you can look at D-Laws is this. Had they ended up being able to keep him on the franchise tag, we would have paid him $19 million, right? So really all they did was take the franchise tag and add $42 million to it. So they really added 2 more years of money to D-Law. That's the guarantee part of it, and that's all you really look at. So what we're saying is you got next year and the year after that you can say bye-bye D-Law, and there's no dead money. So from the standpoint of that contract, that's not so bad. The Rams, on the other hand, they've got like 3 more years of money before they can get out of that contract, and that guy is shot. He's diminishing returns. That knee is arthritic, and it's not going to get any better. Even with Zeke, basically 3 more years of Zeke, then you can let him go without any pain. So yeah, they hurt some, but the other thing that you're going to look at is this. Right now, they look like really bad contracts because they're, the percentage that they are of the cap. But what you're going to see on the cap, you may end up looking at this 2 years from now and saying that the Dallas Cowboys were geniuses, because with the revenue sharing, the CBA, which they're going to be having another conference call on Tuesday, they've taken the franchise tag date, which was supposed to be on Tuesday, and it now starts on Thursday, and it's kicked back until the 12th that you can name franchise tag players. Because if the CBA passes, then you can only use 1 tag. If it doesn't pass, then you can use 2. But with the CBA, the players' compensation, they're trying to get this 50-50 split as opposed to 47-53. And that will take effect this year. So you're going to get more cash this year on the salary cap from just that alone. The second thing is revenue from gambling is also going to be part of that split. So when Jerry Jones is now partnering with a casino in Arizona, when you have Dan Snyder trying to get a gambling license so that way he can have gambling at the stadium, there's going to be a lot of money from gambling that's going to come into the NFL. Third thing you're going to have is the money from the television contracts. As soon as they end up getting the CBA, the NFL is going straight to the networks and they're going to renegotiate the television contracts. And it wouldn't surprise me if somebody decided, we want the Sunday ticket from DirecTV, Verizon, or something like that. You're going to get somebody who's going to want to pay for the streaming rights. And you're also, as they go through and negotiate this, you're adding another week's worth of games to it. Along with, here's the thing, I don't know if you guys realize this or not, you'll have 8 home games, and you'll have 8 away games, and then you'll have a neutral site game. So places like Mexico or Canada or Iowa or Montgomery, Alabama will have games. If you got a game out in the Midwest where there's never been football before, can you imagine how many people that are in that area that have never had the opportunity to go to a football game, how big it will be, how much revenue that they'll make? All of these things are going to be divided up half and half and are going to go towards the salary cap. I can guarantee you, after this contract is signed and they redo the television contract, I bet you in 2 years that the salary cap will be around $250 million. Okay? And when it is, I want you to make sure you come back and say, damn, Mark, you were right about that shit. But they don't have Deshaun Jackson when we played them. Plus, they beat us in the first when it counted. Oh my God! Every game counts. Every game counts. We beat them the year before when it counted in Dallas, didn't we? Didn't we kick their ass? Didn't we kick their ass? Didn't Dak Prescott kick Carson Wentz's ass twice last year? Right? That didn't count last year. So why don't we say, well, you know, Carson Wentz didn't beat Dak Prescott the year before when it counted? Come on, man. That's football. Hell, Drew Brees had 3 years of 7-9 in a row. 3 years. Aaron Rodgers the year before was 6-9-1. 6-9-1. Every quarterback has good years, bad years. Every team has good years and bad years. Stop with this stuff of pointing to one damn game. Guess what? He won 40 other ones. You know what? With that one, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go carry my... I can't. I just can't. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to turn out the lights. And I'm going to carry my happy ass to bed. My crippled ass, I should say. Getting up like an old damn man. Damn. I try to be nice. I try. Lord knows I try. Damn. One damn game. Just one game. One game. You guys are going to base a damn career on one freaking game. Well, he didn't beat Carson Wentz when it counted. Oh, my God. You know, he did have a hurt shoulder. That don't mean anything to you guys? Zeke Elliott didn't exactly run through the building. It wasn't like, you know, everybody played great. The defense played lights out. Zeke Elliott ran all over the place. The coaches called a great game. That all these other things went right. It was just, you know, I could see if Dak Prescott, you know, did like Carson Wentz did against the Saints, where he threw 3 interceptions. I could see if that was the case, that, you know, he ended up throwing up all over himself and just lost the game. You know, we had the game in the bag, but Dak Prescott fumbled in the end zone. You know, I could see if that was the case. But didn't nobody play good in that game? And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be like Michael Anthony Fitness. I look at that game. In fact, if I have some time, I'm going to go back and watch that game. I looked at when they played the Rams, they were high energy, they were motivated and everything else, because we had already heard that Jason Garrett was gone. But then you started getting Jerry Jones saying, you know, Jason Garrett, we believe in that guy. He's the right guy to get us to the playoffs. I think the team kind of said, yo, if we beat the Eagles in the playoffs, that means we're going to keep Jason Garrett. I'm not going to say that they threw that game intentionally, but I'm going to turn out the lights on that one. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Wow. You can kind of still see.